moving on to cybercrime statistics. Now, this is going to be interesting. Let's talk about how these things and the percentage of these things in today's world. By 2020, we would have generated 300 billion passwords. Now, the human population on this planet is 7 billion. Imagine 7 billion having 300 billion passwords. And I think half the population wouldn't have access to computers or the internet either. So imagine the number of passwords that we have. And that's what makes us use easy passwords, makes us repeat those passwords, and we use a single password for multiple accounts, right? Because there are just so many passwords that we have to remember. But that's the way it is. And if we want to keep ourselves secure, we are responsible for it. So please be very careful with those passwords. 24,000 malicious mobile apps blocked daily. In fact, the latest example that I can give you, I use an Android phone, and there's an application that I've always used called Cam Scanner. And recently, just 3 days back, my mobile phone started telling me that it is a malicious app, right? I've been using it for years now. Probably 3 or 4 years, maybe more. What is the software? You can click pictures of a document. It will automatically convert it. It will beautify it, if that's a word, convert it into a PDF, and I can then send it as an attachment via email. A very handy app for me, or was a handy app for me. It worked beautifully. But 3 days back, suddenly the Android operating system and my antivirus on my Android phone started reporting it as a malicious software. So I went online and I checked into it, and it seemed that over a period of time, the developers changed their vision of that software, made it spyware, and then there was a dropper involved within that application which would then download a malware from a third-party server, install it, and start spying on you and start showing you malicious advertisements, right? So this was an existing app which was trusted over a period of years, and over a period of time, slowly, they modified it into a spyware. Kaspersky was an organization that detected it in the first place and then pointed it out to Google. Google took it off the Google Play Market, and now there is a variant of it available, but if you look at the reviews, all of them are 1 stars, where they have identified that this is a malware now and it spies on them and it actually compromised some people's data. So that's the latest example. In 2017 or 18, there were 700,000 apps during that year that were identified by Google as malicious apps and were deleted from Google Play. So even if they're published, there will be thousands of people who will download it till the time Google realizes that it is a malware and then they delete it. Till then, you've already been compromised, and there is no way to protect yourself now. So be very careful when you download these applications. In the healthcare sector, ransomware attacks will quadruple. Now, the healthcare sector is a very volatile sector. It contains a lot of private and sensitive information, health information about individuals that can be misused by a lot of organizations, advertisements, pharmaceutical organizations, life insurance people, and whatnot, right? So these became very lucrative targets for hackers, where if they can steal the database and sell it on the black market, they will earn a lot of money. Ransomwares would basically work the other way around. They encrypt the data at the hospital side, and then they will hold the hospital ransom to pay up. Now, you know how hospitals earn nowadays, right? So that's a lot of money that you're looking at. Cybercrime would cost up to $6 trillion in 2021. $6 trillion just for cybercrime. You're not talking about the income from the IT industry. We're talking about how much money we will lose to cybercrime because of the various attacks that would be created. 90% of hackers use encryption. Not only encryption, most of the advanced hackers will try to hide their identity by spoofing their IP addresses, MAC addresses, locations. They will use encryption and cryptography to hide their malicious softwares, to fool the antiviruses, IDSs, IPSs, and it is a very difficult task to even identify a particular malware, analyze it, and then do a root cause analysis and try to figure out who the responsible hacker was. So it's a very intensive task of doing such things, and most of the hackers would go scot-free because it is very difficult to identify them.